Democrats have been up in arms about Maduro's capture, but the administration tonight continues to defend the president's actions.
We called members of Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days.
House Democrats, meantime, will hold an emergency caucus meeting tomorrow following the military operation in Venezuela and the capture of Mr. Maduro. It'll be held virtually. To speak more about the congressional reaction, let's bring in South Carolina Congresswoman, the great Nancy Mace. Always great to have you with us, Congressman. Real honor. Appreciate your time tonight. I just have to say, I thought Secretary Rubio hit the nail on the head. You can't. Let's be honest, those of us who've been in the Beltway know how this goes. You can't exactly get out there and start sharing all of these details with some congressional lawmakers. First of all, there's a security aspect, and second of all, they didn't exactly have the timing knocked down. Am I right about that?
No, that's right. And at this point, Kevin, I don't see a reason to have any congressional action. This was a very surgical military apprehension for a fugitive. It was not an act of war. And so, I'm going to push back on Democrats that say that it is. And look, I mean, they've defended Iranian terrorism. They've defended terrorism in South America now with Maduro. And, we've got to make sure that we're pushing back. And Trump was right today. Trump talked about and discussed the Monroe Doctrine and discussed how this was a fugitive that we've got to bring in for the narco-terrorism. And quite frankly, I don't even think it compares to Panama, which is to me, a different situation. Thousands of troops. We had nothing of the sort today. We had no American troops killed in action, thank God. They did a very good job. And the one thing I've learned about Donald Trump and the Trump doctrine is that when he sets his mind to it, he's very surgical in his military movements, and it's why he's had a resounding success in Venezuela and around the world.
Also, the action in Iran, obviously, with the strikes on that nuclear facility. And I'm glad you mentioned the Noriega precedents. I found it hypocritical that there were some Democratic lawmakers. They were suggesting this was somehow unbelievable, when in fact, if you just go back a little bit, whether it's Obama and other parts of Syria, et cetera, we have seen actions that take place. But this wasn't exactly even that. As you point out, I think very aptly, we're talking about someone who had been indicted in the Southern District of New York.
That's right. And in the Noriega situation, when President Bush was there, that situation was 24,000 American troops for an extended period of time for months.
Please subscribe to our official channel, USA News.